I mean, she's really good tennis player. Goes for her shots, takes the ball early, rips. Being a lefty is always tricky, competes really well. I mean, obviously she's beaten a lot of top players this week. I don't really think she needs me to tell her that she's a great player, that we're not going to see enough of her, but we definitely are. And she proved that tonight. I mean, that was...
What a week it has been at Indian Wells. And even though the tournament has come to an end for Eala, the conversation surrounding her is only getting louder. Because when a respected player like Jessica Pegula steps forward to defend you, to praise you, and to openly talk about how special you are, it's a clear sign that the entire tennis world is paying attention. And that's exactly what happened after Eala's round of 16 exit at Indian Wells. Pegula didn't hold back. She spoke openly about Eala's performance, her impact, and the incredible energy she brought to the tournament. Every word she said made one thing clear: this young star is no longer flying under the radar. But to really understand the moment, we have to start from the beginning. Eala didn't arrive at Indian Wells quietly. She arrived with confidence, determination, and something to prove. From the very start of the tournament, she played with purpose and intensity, showing everyone watching that she absolutely belongs at this level. Throughout the week, she delivered impressive performances against strong competition, including players like Coco Gauff. Those victories weren't just wins on the scoreboard. They were statements. They proved that the young star from the Philippines isn't simply a feel-good story or a temporary headline. She is becoming a legitimate force in women's tennis. And when you start defeating players with those kinds of reputations, people begin to notice, the conversations grow louder. The crowds become bigger. The excitement around you starts to build. That's exactly what happened at Indian Wells. Every match Eala played brought more energy into the stadium. Fans packed the stands, the atmosphere grew louder, and the support for her became impossible to ignore. But tennis tournaments are never easy. Eventually, the round of 16 brought a result that didn't go Eala's way. She suffered a tough loss, ending her run at the tournament. And in that moment, all eyes were watching. People weren't just watching the scoreboard anymore. They were watching her reaction. How would a young player respond to defeat when the entire world was watching? When thousands of Filipino fans had traveled across the globe to support her in California? When the pressure was enormous and the cameras were capturing every second? Those are the moments that reveal true character. And Eala showed exactly who she is. She didn't rush off the court in disappointment. She didn't disappear quickly into the tunnel. Instead, she stayed. She turned to the crowd and acknowledged every corner of the stadium. She waved to the fans who had traveled so far just to support her.
The whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come from? And then week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court.
She looked directly at her fans. She acknowledged them, expressed her gratitude, and carried herself with a level of grace and composure that even some of the biggest names in tennis struggle to show after a difficult loss. That moment, Eala standing on the court and waving to her supporters, is an image that many people will remember for a long time. Because moments like that reveal something deeper than results. They reveal character, and in that moment, Eala showed exactly the kind of champion she already is, even before the trophies and titles begin to pile up. Someone who was watching all of this closely was Jessica Pegula. Pegula has seen Eala compete. She has seen the way she carries herself on the court and the connection she has built with fans around the world. And after that round of 16 loss at Indian Wells, Pegula made it very clear that one defeat doesn't define who Eala is as a player. She didn't hold back. Pegula spoke openly about Eala's potential, explaining that a single match or a single afternoon cannot erase the incredible progress this young player has already made or the future she still has ahead of her. In fact, Pegula went even further. She said that anyone who is truly paying attention to women's tennis right now can clearly see the potential Eala brings to the WTA Tour, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. Pegula talked about the unique energy Eala brings whenever she steps onto the court. From the moment she began gaining attention on the tour, she brought something fresh, a spark, an excitement, and a genuine love for the sport that fans can instantly feel. That kind of presence is rare. Pegula even mentioned how much she has enjoyed watching Eala grow and develop as a player. And perhaps the most important thing she said was this: what we are seeing right now is only the beginning. Think about that for a moment. The incredible atmosphere, the packed stadiums, the excitement surrounding Eala's matches, everything we saw during this week at Indian Wells might only be the start of what she will bring to tennis in the years ahead. But Pegula didn't stop there. She even joked that she would love to invite Eala onto her podcast to talk more about the incredible attention and excitement she is currently bringing to the tour, because this level of energy matters. When a player draws passionate crowds, inspires new fans, and creates unforgettable moments inside the stadium, it doesn't just help that player, it helps the entire sport grow. It strengthens women's tennis, it brings new audiences into the game, and it reminds long-time fans why they fell in love with tennis in the first place. Pegula clearly understands that.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come?
Speaking of personality, Jessica Pegula also made a point to praise how Alex Eala is handling the sudden wave of fame and attention surrounding her career, and honestly, that is not an easy thing for any athlete to manage. When you suddenly become a national hero, when an entire country begins rallying behind you, when millions of fans start watching every match, every interview, and every move you make on the court, the pressure can become overwhelming. But Pegula believes Eala has handled that responsibility in an extraordinary way. According to her, Eala is managing the spotlight with grace, humility, and genuine appreciation for the fans who support her. She never takes that support for granted, and it shows in the way she interacts with people both on and off the court. Even in moments of defeat, Eala carries herself with calmness and composure, qualities that reveal a lot about her character as a person. And that is something Pegula clearly respects. Because if we are being honest, that level of sportsmanship is not always what we see in professional tennis. Fans have seen situations where emotions take over after big losses. A perfect example came during the final of the French Open, when Coco Gauff produced an incredible comeback victory against Aryna Sabalenka. Instead of fully crediting Gauff for her performance, Sabalenka suggested in her press conference that the match result was more about her own mistakes than Gauff's level of play. Moments like that can leave a strong impression on fans. Because when a player refuses to acknowledge the brilliance of their opponent, it says a lot about their mindset after defeat. And that is exactly why the contrast with Alex Eala stands out so clearly. Eala has consistently shown respect for her opponents, gratitude toward her supporters, and humility in both victory and defeat. That combination is rare, it is refreshing.
Won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls. If Iga would win me...
And this is exactly why players like Jessica Pegula are standing up for Alex Eala. Pegula isn't just praising Eala's talent on the court, she's actively defending her, supporting her, and making sure the tennis world recognizes what she represents. And this support didn't just start this week, it actually goes back earlier in the season. During the Australian Open that time, Eala was already attracting massive crowds. Fans were showing up in huge numbers just to watch her matches. The atmosphere around her games was electric. But despite that incredible demand, she wasn't always being scheduled on the larger courts during the early rounds. Pegula noticed. And she didn't stay quiet about it. She spoke up publicly, pointing out that Eala deserved to play on bigger stages not only because of her talent, but also because her fans deserved the chance to experience those moments with her. Pegula argued that when a player is bringing that kind of energy and excitement to the tournament, the sport should embrace it, not limit it. That moment said a lot about Pegula's character, because standing up for another player like that isn't always common in professional sports. It takes honesty, respect, and a willingness to support someone who represents something bigger than just wins and losses. And in that moment, Pegula showed exactly that.
Eala is the match that I was looking at, and there was people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, for fan experience, I don't know, because I'm not living that same experience, but hopefully the event kind of continues to grow.
And Pegula was not the only one speaking up in that moment. Tennis legend Novak Djokovic also stepped into the conversation, making it clear that Alex Eala deserves every bit of the attention and respect she is receiving right now. Djokovic acknowledged something that many people in the tennis world are beginning to recognize. He said that Eala is the biggest name the sport of tennis has ever produced from the Philippines, and that both she and the Filipino fans supporting her deserve to be treated with the respect that comes with that status. And when someone like Djokovic, one of the greatest players in the history of tennis, speaks up like that, the entire sports world listens. Because his words carry weight. Think about what that means for a moment. You have Jessica Pegula publicly defending her. You have Novak Djokovic recognizing her impact on the sport. And you even have opponents like Coco Gauff showing respect and appreciation after stepping off the court. When players at that level start speaking about you with that kind of admiration, it means something bigger is happening. It means the tennis world is paying attention.
That's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest. So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's so young and she's just coming through. So
the run at Indian Wells Open may be over for Alex Eala, but her story is far from finished. The next stop is the Miami Open, and that tournament holds a special place in Eala's journey. It's the event where the tennis world truly began to notice her. It was in Miami where people first started paying attention and realized that this young player from the Philippines wasn't just talented, she was something extraordinary. Now she returns to Miami with a new level of confidence and something to prove. Expect her to come back sharper, more focused, and more determined than ever to remind everyone exactly who she is and why she belongs among the rising stars of the sport. And of course, her fans will be right there with her. The passionate Filipino supporters who packed the stands in California aren't going anywhere. If anything, they'll be louder in Miami. Because that's what this fan base does. They show up, they stay loyal, and they bring incredible energy wherever Eala plays. And one thing that stands out about Eala is how deeply she appreciates that support every step of the way. As Jessica Pegula perfectly said, one loss does not define Alex Eala. What truly defines her is the way she competes, the way she carries herself, and the respect she shows to the fans who stand behind her. She's bringing excitement, passion, and a fresh energy to women's tennis, and the sport is better because of it. And the most exciting part? This might only be the beginning. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you agree with Jessica Pegula that one defeat should never define a young player who clearly has world-class potential? Has Alex Eala already proven she belongs among the biggest names on the WTA Tour? Or do you want to see more before placing her in that category? And what did you think about the way she handled the loss, staying back to thank her fans and showing grace even in disappointment?